molecules of emotions rightly. You can Google it. The molecules of emotion, you will find over lots of pages talking about emotions and the molecules. In the last 15-20 years, we found a couple of dozens, number of molecules of emotions of positive and negative side. And there would be hundreds more for us to find till I die or even thereafter. But yes, we've come to know that when we are in a positive state of mind, like I am right now, I am benefiting. Whether you are getting a good piece or not, I don't know. You're getting a good thought from you, I don't know. But this exercise is benefiting me for my being positive, being creative and active and taking a challenge and talking about that. And all those body peptides are being released like a fountain in my right side of the brain. And then they reach the space in between the brain sides, the ventricles. They reach the CSF, the fluid in which the brain is floating. And from the CSF it reaches the blood. What you think releases chemicals. The kind of a thought you have in mind releases different chemicals. Those chemicals reach the blood, and blood reaches every part of the life. Every cell of the body gets hit, hurt or bound and benefited according to the thought by those molecules. So either the cells are smiling or they are also weeping. And they feel helpless, for these molecules are not their doings. It's a doing of the brain. And it drains down and drains the health of the cells. And collection of cells can make organs and tissues, or heart and liver and kidney and skin and the smile. And everything is gradually lost because we can cover up with as best of the makeups as far as the expressions are concerned for a while. Yet we are putting our cells of the body to test because we are unmindful of the kind of emotions which we are inviting every day and bearing it somehow. Hey, you've come up again, get lost. This negative thought and this reaction, I don't like it. It has been troubling me. Often, you are naughty. I don't need you. You're not my friend. We can part away with husband and wife and friends and fellows because we dislike and disapprove when we feel they are intimidating. They're not giving me a space. These negative emotions should be told, this is my space, out you go. This is speaking with your own self in a positive way. And the most wondrous part of the mind and the brain is when you start talking positively like this, these negative emotions start feeling very shy. After a while, they are very timid, let me tell you. But till you let them read, then they are the emperors. They consume you in an imperial Raj of theirs. So we must know that it exists. This is not notional. This is not only a sort of a preachy talk Dr. Sanon is giving. This is scientifically ascertainable. It is validated today. And so we must handle our emotions and be careful about what we are getting in, garbage out and positivity in. This is how we're going to handle our supercomputer. It's not that computer garbage in, garbage out. It's a different story. Next, please. And yes, if the heart starts running in a very odd fashion, arrhythmias come in, we give it an electric shock or some medicines to sort out the indiscipline of the heart. Set it right. The normal rhythm comes in. However, till date, no medicine, no modes, no leverage, no equipments, no state-of-art researches are there which can change a disturbed state of mind and set it right. So this upset mind has to be set up as I started, by observing it, thinking about it, maybe if need be talking about it and discussing and sharing it with those who deserve and whom you care for and whom you think you can rely upon for your personal issues and who will share their time with you and have the mature approach to give you an answer. But set up your own upsetting on your own. Do it yourself. For there is no other help scientifically available. Next. What happens is the way we repeatedly think, either unknowingly, as a habit or a trait, or the way we intervene and change our way of thinking, the manner of the way we modify our thinking repeatedly, releases a different kind of chemicals in the brain which influences the whole body. And this repeated thought process, which can be positive, changes the whole atmosphere of the body, the brain and the body. And that influences positively, usefully, gainfully, profitably the attitude, the behavior, and the concepts of a person. And my attitude and approach to life and my concepts and my behavior is seen by others as my personality. And then people recognize the person as one of this kind or that. And then you have a positive feedback from your personality back to a recharge of your attitude, behavior, and concept. It becomes a positive spiral going up. And you are full of it. This is how personalities are built, my dear friends. They are not created that I'm looking smart today, but I am a weak person, but I'm looking great today because I've changed things and appearances in my dresses. I'm only looking. The question is, am I great? Am I better than yesterday? Or am I battered than yesterday? Am I better or battered? What is good for me? What is there in for me in being battered? And it is pointless to even consider the question, what is good in me in case I'm better? Yes, there is one more word, from good to better, and better to best. So there is some more quest to become better to best, and leave the rest to the forces of time, which I might discuss with you. The next. Yes, in the last about 200 years, there has been a great emphasis on intellectual growth and development in terms of learning and teaching here. But at the other end, the emotional values and development got probably sidelined and neglected. This has resulted in so much of imbalances in the society of the world. The high incidence of psychiatric disorders and the richnesses of the shrinks. Their pockets bulge, people go to the shrink. Shrink and bulge is happening there. And this is because we have not been able to address our appropriate emotional development for quite some time, because that probably was not considered to be all that important on you being healthy, happy, rich, good and great. Now you realize that when you are emotionally neglected, not appropriately supported, and not strongly developed, that there is nothing in you. And so it's worth balancing, though it is a tough balance like this baby elephant has to make without breaking the egg. Okay? Next. I've talked about the factors which disturb us, that stress us, they're all there in the mind. We can counter them. The scientific supports which talk of how devastating and damaging negative way of thinking and approach to life is, how important and beneficial, profitable it would be to change your mindset, for there are chemicals which are released in different states of emotions. And then how do we practice to remodel our mind? And this is the art, the practice, the discipline, the habit, the way of life of silent personal moments of meditation. You'll be still the same young person, a pretty lady and a handsome, attractive guy, living a life with everybody as happily as everybody else does and enjoy, and yet deep within have a greater source of joy that comes out of the secret of meditation. I'm going to talk a little about the objective aspects. What are the requirements? Does meditation mean if Dr. Sanon can stand on his head and do a sheesh asana and walk from here on his head and his arms up to the door, then he is a great master from India who's come to teach how meditation is done? Or to probably stretch your legs across and do the best to sit in Padmasana and close your eyes and think of all the problems that are happening to you and say, I'm meditating. Does that work? And if only taking deep breaths could help you to meditate, then when you are fretting and fuming, we're taking deep breaths in any case. It should help you. It doesn't, it burns you. It consumes you. I'm talking the reverse. It's not difficult, but it's not plain and simple. If I was to come here and deliver a speech and I wanted to effectively convey certain things to you, then I had to prepare for it in terms of, okay, this is the PowerPoint, these are the images, these are the collages, this is the sequence. Of course, what I'm speaking is coming out of me automatically. But there was some spade works I did, some groundwork that I did. So what is the groundwork for meditation is what I'm going to first talk to you about.